It's really difficult because food is probably the most abused substance on the planet. So, as you say, you have to eat. So, if you developed an unhealthy relationship with alcohol, you can abstain from it. If you developed an unhealthy relationship, even with things like exercise, you can abstain from doing that exercise. But with food, we have to eat multiple times a day. And so we constantly have this sort of paradoxical relationship, many of us, of where we maybe recognize and identify that a source of a lot of our discontent and unhappiness comes from how we're eating, and yet we have to do it multiple times a day. And so I have myself sometimes denied myself food because I've been too busy with work, or I was a teenager in the 90s where size zero was the goal, and there were a lot of very unrealistic expectations on females. That gave me quite an unhealthy relationship with managing and controlling my food. I have also loved a meal and eaten it so much to excess that I've then had to just lay down and make myself feel really sick for eating too much. And yes, we can all kind of empathize and nod and kind of sympathize and even giggle along because it's such a relatable human experience. But actually, that shows how dysfunctional nearly everyone's relationship with food is, whether it's from withholding and controlling and denying or going to excess. All of us have denied and binged food at some point to some degree. And often, when we're talking about emotional eating, often that is done by way of a coping mechanism. So I've had a stressful day at work. I can't be bothered to cook. I'm going to get myself a takeaway. Now, you can understand the logic to it, but then that takeaway becomes something that offers me a bit of comfort then. Or I don't know, as a female, sometimes I'm feeling hormonal and which is a conversation in itself, and I'm feeling perhaps tired or more emotional. I need a bar of chocolate, and you eat the bar of chocolate. And I know I've had this experience, and lots of clients I've talked to have had this experience that even when you want to do those things in moderation, sometimes you know the bar of chocolate is in the kitchen and it's almost like it is constantly beckoning you until you just think, I'm going to eat the bar of chocolate.